we are doing a full rundown of my makeup, all of my makeup that I use, and the routine and the order I do them in. I'm not gonna redo this. I'm just gonna show you what I do. I'm not doing Sonic makeup. Okay, so first off, obviously, wash my face, add on moisturizer. Didn't fucking bring that with me. I use hyaluronic acid on my face like fucking every day. But it's just like, it's just a moisturizer. Anyway, use whatever moisturizer you like on your face. I then go in after my moisturizer dries and I use a hydrating primer. This is from Sunset Makeup. I don't know how good this is. I just have it. I bought it. I'm using it. I use this mostly under my eyes. This is to make it so that your makeup doesn't look as cakey. I know we were just talking about we don't want cakey makeup. Using a primer underneath makes it more moisturized. It makes your makeup stick to it so it lasts longer and it should look less cakey. I then go ahead and I mix my BB cream, I use Bare Mineral, with literally white makeup from Sunset Makeup. I do recommend this though. If you are looking for a white makeup foundation, use Sunset Makeup. It is the most pigmented with also being really easy to use, and it's not really, it doesn't feel heavy, so it feels really light. It feels like a foundation. And then I have my tinted moisturizer and I have it in literally Opal. This is the lightest fucking color that they make. And I still have to mix this bitch. Anyway, so I do that. Then I go ahead and I use, hold on. This bitch has 2 layers. You want to see this? 2 layers, secret hidden compartment. I have shit that I use from, this is from Trixie Cosmetics. I don't really use these other colors because they are too orange for me, but I use the highlighter because I have it. I use the highlighter on my under eyes right after I do my foundation. Do I recommend using a powder highlighter for this? Fucking no. Probably don't do this. It makes it look more cakey. But I am filling my under eyes with a highlighter so it reflects and it looks more like, it's supposed to be more like an optical illusion. I only recently started doing this, okay? Use it if you like it. If you don't use it. And then, so I use that. After that, I go ahead and I use my, I use Urban Decay. I use Urban Decay Brow Blade. I don't know what, this is in Gingersnap. This is literally what it looks like. Hello? Brow Blade. I cut the tip off of this. I use the liquid side. I cut the tip off of it so I could get these more round shits. So then I do that on my face and I dab it out. Okay. It's not hard. Don't just dab it on. You have to like dab it out. Otherwise it's going to look really dark and weird. So when you put it on, immediately dab it out. It'll make it look a lot more natural and it'll give like, if you keep pressing it, it'll stay on your fingers. So you'll get some extra ones that are a lot lighter and it makes it look more dynamic. I highly recommend this. This is awesome. There's also another side that I don't use, but if you want to use it for your brows, there is a cream pen side. I don't really use it, but you can. After that, then I put on my contour, which I use Sephora Colorful Blush. It is supposed to be a blush. I don't use it like a blush. I use it like my contour. I have it in color 35 Second Chance. It is a very cool toned color, as you can tell, very cool toned. So if you compare the two, if you're like me and you're more cool toned, you see the difference. This is really warm compared to this is really cool. You need a cool tone if you are a cool tone person. Otherwise, it will look like there's mud on your face, which it often did for me. So make sure you're using the right color for your contour. Also, I am reading you guys, don't worry. Oh yeah, and also, okay, so sorry, I'm going a little out of order, but after you do your highlighter on your under eyes, then I go in and I finish this off with, I do concealer over my highlighter here. I put on a little bit and then I blend it out Don't just leave highlighter under your eye. It's going to look like you've been crying. So you need to put a layer of concealer on top of it. This I use as Nars. This I use as Nars. Nice. Good job. And it is in the color light. Is literally, I think, the lightest color or close to it. It is in the color light 1.25 Affogato. Take that as you will. I do like Nars. I've been using them for a really long time for concealer. I also use Maybelline New York. I use the pink color corrector because I, like many women, kind of have like more of a mustache line where it's more like greener toned, right? The whole goal is to make your base kind of all the same color, and your face is a bunch of different colors, right? So on your mustache line, you are more likely to have green colors because you have like more darker colors there. And even if you have like peach fuzz, like I get peach fuzz, and even right here, it's still like green. So I always color correct with a pink tone to counteract the green. And you could also use this under your eyes. But I do think that this one does look a little bit more cakey. And it is less full coverage than this. This is way fuller coverage. This is super full coverage. So anyway, color correct with pink. That's what I do personally. If you're trying to color correct for more darker colors, like if you actually have a mustache, you should be using maybe like more of a more pigmented color. So maybe before you put on your foundation, you put a red base where you have green, right? Like if I had an actual mustache that I'm trying to hide and I shave my mustache, then I put on a red tone underneath. It can be a foundation base. It can be like literally a colorful like foundation like this, right? Use that underneath, and then on top you put your foundation, right? Or if you have rosacea, then you do the opposite. You put more of a green tone, right? So color correct your base underneath if it's really like apparent. For me, this is not really that apparent, so I just put it on top. Anyway, any questions? Anyway, so you can do that as well. These do come in other colors. I believe they have a green and a purple. They have other colors of this, so if you're interested in trying this, I mean, more than welcome to give it a shot. I think it's pretty cheap. It's Maybelline New York, instant age rewind eraser color corrector in a bunch of different colors. Anyway, if you are interested in using like, okay, so I'm about to go into my contour and my blush, which I was just explaining, but I do have, so I do have a cream that I also use for that. I don't personally use a cream right now for my contour or my blush, but if I were to, this is what I have been using. This is the contour stick from Sephora. This is if I want my contour to look like way more apparent. It is in the color fair to light. Can you tell the trend? And it's just a cream. It's just a cream stick. But this is what you would use for your base if you really wanted to. And then this, I just fucking have this. It's a cheek stay-in from Sassy, but it doesn't even fucking, this shit doesn't stay, okay? I just like the color, whatever, it's fine. Hi, Lettuce, women be makeup for real, you bitch. You should learn a thing or two. That was really mean. Hi, you caught me at my most woman. Anyway, I'm trying to burn through this really quick because people have been wanting my makeup routine, and I'm telling everybody my products really, really fast for a VOD. Anyway, so, oh my God, this is so cringe. So I use this Sephora. If I were to use the cream base, I would use the cream bases first on top of my foundation, blend it out, and then I would use a powder base, which is, this is what I use. Sephora is my powder base, which is what I use when I don't feel like putting on any cream either. So either use it with the cream and the powder, or just use the powder. It doesn't really matter. Do whatever the fuck you want. This is what I use for my blush. I don't think it stays incredibly well, but I really like the color. It's really it's more translucent. It's not too vibrant. When I'm looking for something more vibrant, this shit is so fucking vibrant. Trixie Cosmetics has the fucking pigment. It's fucking insane. So if you want something more pigmented, maybe go for Trixie Cosmetics. They have a lot of colors. But ColourPop, this one is a lot more like chill. It's not going to dump a bunch of pigment on your face, but it is in the color Sassy Pants. Again, if you are like me and you have like a cool pale tone, you're going to want cool colors. So this is a cool pink that you would want to use. So you can use that. Anyway, so I put those bitches on my face. I have my freckles on. I have my foundation. Sorry, I have foundation, my highlighter, my foundation concealer again. Then I have my contour, my blush, and then, and my freckles. And then I add on, so I use my highlighter again, and I use it after I do everything, and I use it on my nose. You can also use your foundation, sorry, your contour to cut here, cut your nose under and on top. I also use my blush. I use my blush here, on top of my nose, underneath. And then I use my highlighter, tip of my nose. Easy peas, easy peas. What do you do with all the colors you don't use? What do you mean? What do you mean? What colors are you not using? I've told you to use all of these things. What's the question? Anyway, so I do all of those. I'm trying to put them away real quick. So I do all of those. And then I do my eyeliner. Why are you doing oh? I'm silly goober. I use my eyeliner. I use Stila. So how I do you guys want to know how I actually do my eyeliner though? I don't know if you guys want to get that deep. But basically, I start my wing here, I go plump, and then I put a wing towards my eye. I do it while I'm looking straight forward, and I put my eyebrows down. Because I have, if I put my eyeliner in the wrong spot, my eyelids will eat it if you have kind of hooded eyes. So you have to look straight forward, make sure your eyebrows are down. And then you map out where everything's going to be. So you put your liner up, however far you want to go. I map out where it's going to end up. I try to go above my crease so it doesn't get eaten by my crease. And then I pull the line over to my eye. I also go under. I do my waterline. I don't know if I should be using liquid eyeliner for my waterline, but I do my waterline because I find that I have this line on top. You can see my eyelashes, because my eyelashes aren't thick, okay? So you see the skin under my eyelashes. So what I do is I go underneath and I try to get my eyeliner into my eyelashes. But that's a personal problem. So then I bring it all the way over. I kind of map it out. So I go underneath here, and then I try to line up this top part to my waterline in this front corner here. I just put something in my eye. Okay, then I do that, and then I fill it all in, okay? And I tried to make it a little curved. Again, you have to make it look however is good for your eye, because my eye is different from yours. So just make sure you have your eyebrow down. You keep that shit down. You look straight at yourself in the mirror, okay? Look straight at yourself in the mirror, eyebrow down. It's going to be the best way for you to map out where everything should go. That looks good for your eye, because otherwise, again, you want to make sure that your eyes aren't eating your makeup. Anyway, so after you do all that, I line everything in. I also pull it on underneath, but very lightly. Then I go in with my old ass Urban Decay that I've had since high school. It is in Blackout. Obviously, it's just a black eyeshadow. Just use whatever black eyeshadow you want. I use a Trixie brush in PO2. This is their like liner brush, I guess. I like the angled brush. It's nice. I use this, dip it in here, and then I put it on top of my eye. Or on the eyeliner. I use it underneath to also blend it out a little bit more, and then I bring it up. And this makes it more matte, so you don't have shiny liner. And then also you can use it to, if you want to make your edges more soft, you can pull it outside of the liner that you've already done. And so you can soften your liner and make it look more smudgy. A wizard's never late. She arrives precisely when Sassy pants is slay. I'm gonna jump. What the fuck is that comment? Trixie Mattel, yes, the drag queen. She has her own makeup line and I do like using her products. So you put that on over everything. Just make sure, for me, I try to make sure that this liner isn't too thick. Right here, thick enough that it looks good when I put fake eyelashes on top of it, because I put my eyelashes real far away from my actual eye. So I make sure there's room enough to do that, but not too much. So just honestly, it's going to be whatever looks good for your eye. Mine is going to be, again, very different from yours. So just take it however you will. The main takeaway is to make sure that you keep your eyebrows down if you have hooded eyes. But anyway, I put that on, right? I got all that done. It looks nice. I put on my mascara. I use Too Faced Better Than Sex waterproof mascara. You heard it here first. This is, in fact, better than sex, and it will stay on your eyes to its detriment. It is a waterproof mascara. You do have to be very careful. These can stay a little too well. They also do have a version that's not waterproof that you might want to use. Waterproof mascara can be bad if you use it every day. I don't use it every day. Okay. I don't use this every day. Okay. So, if you want it to really stay, this will stay, but to the point where when you use makeup remover, it likely will not come off. Heads up. Heads up. So great product if you want it to stay forever. But yes, I use this. I put it on top and on bottom. I also make sure to get the behind of my eyelashes because I have brown eyelashes. So sometimes when you only get the front and your eyelashes are maybe brown, it looks weird when you close your eyes. Heads up. So make sure that it's thoroughly coated so your eyelashes look the color it's supposed to be. After that is when I take a break and I go eat. That is my eating time. After that, I come back. I do use powder, but you should use powder with a powder brush. This is a really old brush. I do clean it, I promise. But I use a powder brush after I do all my base. I use it like this. This is how I use powder. I don't really have a preference of powder. I do think there's better powders than the one I'm using right now. If you don't know what color powder you should use, just use a translucent powder. Straight up, translucent powder is good for everything. If you do different face color makeup, like you want to be blue, translucent's going to be good for any kind of makeup you want to do. Just get a big old fucking thing of translucent powder. I got mine from Sunset Makeup. Don't know if it's the best one. It is just the one I use. Just use that. Anyway, so I do that. If I am going to use a finishing spray, a setting spray, I will do that after I powder. Actually, no. I've started not doing it after I powder because I've been trying to see if it makes me less cakey. So this is what I would do. Is your everyday makeup the same as your streaming makeup? No. This is all out, and then everyday makeup is way more chill. It's around the same basis though. It's just not, I don't wear lipstick. I don't wear fake lashes. Probably look a little gayer in real life. So yeah, I do feel bad about giving you guys the less gay version, but like, what can you do? Anyway, so I use a face spray. After I finish my base, I'll use a face spray. Heads up, if you're using the Urban Decay Stay All Night. Is it Urban Decay? I didn't bring it with me. Stay spray. What is it called? All-Nighter. So Urban Decay All-Nighter. This is a huge deal, by the way. Urban Decay All-Nighter is what I always used to use. I do not use it well, no. I'm not going to buy a new one. Urban Decay for All-Nighter Spray recently changed their formula. You may want to get a different one because the formula change is a big fucking deal. If you find it does not work for you anymore, it is because they changed their formula. So heads up, if you're trying to get a new one, you haven't gotten it in a while, it's a new formula, maybe try something else. I don't have anything I can recommend yet. I haven't tried anything. So that's when I use my Urban Decay spray all day. I finish my base, spray it down. It leaves you with a kind of mildly shiny, glowy sheen. I then powder down all the bits that I don't want to be shiny. So here, my chin, my nose, my T-zone and my eyes. So basically the only place I don't powder is here because I want that extra shine because I think it looks pretty cunt. So that's how I use my setting spray. I don't use it all the time because I don't want to waste it. I only use it for content creators that do really messy shit on their stream. So if I'm planning something really messy for my stream, I'll use it. If someone else I'm working with is doing something super messy, I'll use it. If I'm going to be, you know, working on a set for a really long period of time, that's when I also use it. Anyway, so yeah. And then after I do that, that's when I put on my lipstick. I don't really, I don't have any hot tips for you on lipstick. I thought I brought my lipstick. I don't see it though. Oh, it's right in front of me. This is a lipstick I use. I use Maybelline New York. This is in the shade Voyager. This is the one I've been using quite a lot recently. It's because it stays really well. It doesn't fucking move. It only crusts. That's the downside. The bitch is a little crusty. So if you don't want something super matte, don't use something super matte. I use super matte because I'm overdrawing my lips. Yes, you heard it here first. I have white woman mouth, which means that, you know, my lips are not necessarily this huge. And that's really funny because they're not even that huge today. Anyway, so I overdraw. So if you want to overdraw, heads up, maybe use a matte. Because if you use a matte, it hides your edges. So if you have lips that are very angular, like mine are pretty like prominent, you can see where the edges of my lips actually are, just use a matte lipstick. You can cover it and it's way less noticeable than if you use like a gloss. Okay, just a heads up. If you don't give a shit, use a gloss. I would not. I use matte. That's why I use matte. I overdraw all the time. Hey man, I gotta stare at myself all the fucking time. I notice it all. So I want something to look pretty chill, pretty calm, pretty not shiny and in your face that I'm overdrawing. But anyway, yeah, I overdraw my shit. So does fucking everybody. Anyway, so I do that. And then I have eyelashes that I use. I don't have what they're called with me. It just says Teddy. These are the eyelashes that I use. And I get my eyelash glue, I put it on my eyelash, I blow on it, and then I get bored, and then I put it on before I really should. So, whatever. I put it on. This is what it looks like. I try to make it so I put this front part closer to my eyelash, and since my eyes are a little bit more downturned, where my actual lash line is, I put my fake lash a little bit higher up so my eye doesn't look like it's drooping, okay? So, you know, if you notice your eyes are a little bit more downturned, the reason why maybe you don't look as good with eyelashes is because you are putting them where your actual lash line is. Don't do that. Make your eyeliner bigger and then put that shit higher. It's gonna make your eyes look more up rather than down. If you want that look, you're more than welcome. Like the new trend is puppy dog eyeliner, and that's the trend where it is a little bit more down. So if you're into that, pop off. But I don't do that. I try to make it look a little bit more up. Otherwise, it looks like my eyes are sagging and I'm crying or sad or depressed or like my face is melting, and I don't want to do that. So that's why I put them up a little bit higher. And that's also why I don't wear them in public. It mostly looks good on camera. If I'm wearing stuff in public, now I'm going to start wearing cluster lashes. That's why whenever I go to conventions, I get my eyelashes actually done because I don't want you guys to see how crazy it looks IRL. I don't want you guys to know, and I'll get up and close, but you can also, heads up, you can see the line. There's not really much you can do about that. You can usually see the line of like your actual lash, your fake lash. And then you can see there's this little gap. This is where my eyelash is down here. And this is where the eyelash is up there. You see what I mean? But from further away, it goes, whoop, and you don't really notice it. Hey man, I do makeup for on camera. I don't do makeup for people looking at me up close. You know what I mean? So it is a little bit different, but that's the tea. That's my makeup routine. That's it. This is what's going on the VOD. This is the VOD. Is that the good eye or the bad eye? The bad. This is bad one. Did you see it? Did you see it? You have any questions? Anyone any questions? Besides that, I have like a lot of extra stuff that sometimes I'll do, but you know, womp womp, whatever. That's the basics of it. But yeah. Yay, yippee, yippee. Oh, and then also hot tip. If you want to wear some like really subtle kind of eyeshadow, use the same color that you use for your blush on your eyes. It looks nice. It brings your face together. If you're using kind of the same colors, it looks really good. And it doesn't look too overt if you're doing it more casually and more not super opaque with color. It looks really like natural, like a natural flush. If you're using a natural color, actually. If you're not using a natural color, it's not gonna look natural. But I do like when those kind of are the same color because they look more cohesive. So hot tip, you can use blush for like literally anything. It's awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna put this. I found it. I found where I want it to go. Okay. Thank you. Bye. 6 shirt, by the way. Thank you. Anyway, that was my makeup routine with my little clown makeup. My little clown routine.